Bust 3 shots for the purge, never cheap shots for the purge. You taking cheap shots for the burn? We got the streets watching the purge, making weed hot in return. Haters on the sideline, keep watching, observe. Keeping company with ops on the curb. We not for the herbs like celery, rocking the burbs. Brother, we clocking and earn, locking and turn.
In a world where Rudy Ray Moore is back as President Dolomite, rigging poles and digging holes.
Okay. We already know. Once again, the Purge the BS must begin. I am right here, back, just ready to purge it out. And as usual, I must call the boys. Bricks, Bravo, gentlemen, would you join me in another Purge of the BS? Please!
Hell yeah. Yeah, buddy.
Yes.
We up in there.
Yes.
What's wrong with the people that like sound effects?
Yeah.
I talked to both of them. They enjoyed them.
Yeah, well, I like them too. It pumps me up. It feels like there's a crowd. You know, I like when they clap for me. You know, I like it.
Yeah, there's a crowd.
I like it. Yeah, there's a crowd. There's a crowd. And speaking of crowds, thank you everybody for subscribing. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you hit that bell so you can get notifications when we drop new videos and all that good stuff. So, gentlemen, you ready to purge some shit?
Yeah.
Let's purge this shit, man.
Yeah.
Let's do that
Hold
shit.
up, man. Well, I thought we were supposed to. Never mind.
Waiting 2 minutes.
Yeah, well, I don't know.
Which is ironic. Is that the word?
Yeah.
The show starts off with buck nigga.
But that's not.
That's getting correct change, yo. It's a bucket of nickel.
Buck
Yeah.
nickel,
We're not
buck
talking
nickel.
about.
105, Freedom Coast of Buckove. Hey.
You can't handle the truth.
So, gentlemen, have you seen the new Will Smith new Bad Boys movie yet?
No.
Yeah, I saw it.
I haven't seen it. I've been hearing that it's recommended to see. Bravo, was that your take from it?
For me personally, I think it did capture a little bit of the old magic, but the thing is, Martin Lawrence ain't the same Martin Lawrence, and they keep trying to make him the old Martin Lawrence, but he just can't do it like he can before. After that stroke or whatever he had, it ain't as sharp as it used to be. He was still funny though. Don't get me wrong, he carried the movie, like for real. But
really?
In my opinion, yeah,
Okay.
oh yeah, definitely.
That's good.
Yeah, he carried the movie, in my opinion, but. Yeah, it's a good one time. It's not gonna go.
Yeah, there's been a lot of mixed reviews about it. That's why I asked if either of you guys had seen it, because I was trying to decide.
You're not gonna buy the Blu-ray.
On Blu-ray.
Well, yeah, they had a lot of talk about Martin in the last few years because, like you said, after that stroke or whatever. So I'm hoping he's doing all right, because people have things happen to him and they lose a little something.
It's interesting what happens when you joke about things. Because I remember, I think it was Martin who was joking about Michael Jackson, one of his last performances when he was out on the stage with the white shirt. He just kind of looked tired, like this ain't Michael.
Right.
You gotta be careful what you joke about, Joe, because God will play with you. Like, okay.
Father Time is always on his way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Things ain't been the same since Martin was running in that sweatsuit, the suit that makes you sweat, and he was running around the neighborhood talking about they out to kill me. Yeah. I don't think he was completely off base with that one, but it ain't been the same since, man. Oh, he got sick, all kinds of other things. He ain't really do a lot of work. Yeah.
Well,
that's true.
I don't know. I look at it like a lot of people talk about the person's name that they, call they or something.
Right.
They. But the more and more that we keep going into this future, they seem to be a real entity that these people are frightened to death of.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't know what they are, but you know what I mean? It's like that old phrase. You know what I mean? You ain't got to believe in the devil, but he sure believe in you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it just, there's got to be something. When a lot of people say something, that's normally when folks start listening. So even though we're not part of that world, the fact that things seem to keep happening, and everybody all of a sudden they're crazy. But it's like, well, you know, they lived their whole life not crazy. So what's around them now that has caused this catalytic effect that now they're crazy? So maybe you're onto something. I've seen some things, man. I ain't gonna talk too much about it, but I done seen some things.
Yeah,
exactly. And he ain't the only one. There's a lot of them, and they're not the only ones. There's people on the lower levels. They don't want nobody saying nothing that's out of pocket for too long.
Everybody's take is their opinion, but I believe that in the middle of this is the truth, and there's a whole lot of discovery happening on that side. There are a whole lot of people talking about a whole lot of similar things. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just like, there's got to be something to all of that. I don't know what it is, nor will I even try to guess, but there's got to be something to that, yo.
Well, you seen Cat Williams and what's that girl's name? Jaguar Wright.
Jaguar Wright. Yeah, they, you know, and they got her arrested for the U-Haul truck because she had it too long. That's whack, yo. That's whack.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, plenty of TikTokers have been killed recently. Them people that do deep dives on these famous people.
True.
And Boeing whistleblowers.
A lot of people, but
two for two, yo.
Yeah.
Like literally 2 for 2. The whistleblowers disappeared or just died.
This is what kind of, like, let's say you're having an issue with someone at work, right? You have an HR department that you can go to that works for the company or whatever.
Right, they don't work for you.
Right.
But at some point, if you have a valid claim, then whoever is harassing you or something can be stopped. But when it comes to this particular world, whoever's harassing you will stop you. Like, that's it.
Yeah. Wow.
So anyway, you were saying.
Matter of fact,
Baddie and the Brightlights. Do we have one this week?
Yes. Thank you. Because we were digging into the wormhole there.
Oh,
and,
yeah. Speaking of that, bring on the Baddie.
Bring on the Baddie.
Digging into the wormhole.
Speaking of ninjas in Paris, I got a special one for you guys this week. We are in the United States Olympics once again.
Okay.
All right.
You know, the Olympics and gymnastics.
We have our own Olympics now.
What's our own Olympics? Well, hold up. I don't even know if I want to know.
You didn't say team. You just said in the U.S. Olympics.
Right.
I'm like, we got our own? That's dope.
Oh, yeah, that's right. It's not the U.S.
That was highly inappropriate and disrespectful, you son of a bitch.
To whom? I'm only looking at the U.S. team anyway.
You
know what I'm saying?
sex-craved degenerate.
Okay, well, speaking of, I'm gonna take y'all to. You guys know who Simone Biles is?
Oh yeah.
No, but I see my own Biles sometimes.
Yes, I do.
Well, Simone Biles is currently listed as the top athlete in the entire world as far as Olympic athletes. And it's because of the fact she has about 30, I think it's like 30 medal wins.
Yes.
28 of them are gold. And she's 27 years old. So she got more medals than she's got years on the planet. And that's something to be said, apparently. So she's historic.
And apparently she can kick your ass.
Right. She is historic in that way, but she also, you know, like I said, I'll pay some accolades to her Olympic career. I got a clip of her because she just came into the shit. Like, she got all of that. So she is apparently also has a gym where she has other, you know, young women who are aspiring gymnasts, and she trains them and stuff like that. So she's doing the give back to the community thing.
I love that.
She married recently.
I'm not.
I don't know if she's got any kids or anything like that. I didn't dig all the way into that. But the point I'm trying to make is she is part of the community. She's living a regular person's life, and she's out there really doing her thing. So I wanted to show y'all a quick clip of her recent trial run in the Olympics. She's leading right now. She's in first place right now. So we'll see what happens over the course of the next few days, but she's in the first place.
That body as a beast.
Let me see if I can get this shit to come up, man. It's not coming up.
I have no problem with that looking at her.
Yeah, well, I got.
She looks like her breath smells like them old white and red peppermints the grand old ladies have. Yeah.
Right, yeah. Not even name brand. They go white and red.
Picture. That's a much better
that.
picture. Yeah, she's pretty.
Well,
She's
it wasn't the
very pretty.
photo. I have video.
Look at that cute little tattoo on her collarbone, yo. Come on now, stop it, girl.
Let's see what we got here. This should actually work if it works.
I like tattoos. Yams. Damn.
Triple double, hardest doubling pass in the entire world right there.
I'm loving that she's doing a routine to trap.
Right. Jesus.
Yikes, bro.
She's almost 30, guys. She's almost 30. They don't normally
I can't
last that
do
long.
anything. I can't even run across.
Almost fell. Fuck it.
Yeah.
She's strong.
Yeah, yo.
Damn.
Yo, did you see that?
Look at how she landed that.
Yeah.
Damn.
Anyway.
She looked like she invented this shit.
Right.
Well, like I said, she's the number one all time.
She's the winningest.
Simone Biles on floor.
And the guy said it at the end. It's not much in sports like watching Simone Biles on the floor. No disrespect.
Bravo.
I'm gonna pass on that.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to say.
I'm gonna stay respectful.
Let's keep it respectful.
She good, no, because she's a beast, and literally, you listen to her accolades makes me like love her even more. Opening up the gym, you know what I mean,
Yep.
teaching people from the winningest person in the game. You know what I mean, and she's she's married.
She could just go off and do her own thing. She don't have to give back at that point. She could just
She could.
You know
what I mean?
And, there's this other lady. Her name is Jordan Miles, I think it is. It's like her best buddy, and they all started the thing together. The
That's
girl
dope.
here on the left.
Can you
see her?
imagine what people are paying to get?
Yeah, I was trying to share it. I'm gonna share it to you real quick.
Okay.
Can you imagine what people are paying to get trained by her?
They pay. They supposed to because she the best. Oh,
And
that's
so
Jordan.
the two girls in the middle, yeah, that's who started the gym. So Simone and her have been doing this, I guess, since they were young. And they started their whole thing. And her father owned the gym that she started in. So I guess it's like a family thing. And so she kept that going and just has like some super high-tech joint. You have to check it out online. But it's like a real nice gym.
She took the
And
torch.
it's
She
got
took
all
the
of the,
torch, man. Because
ropes
before
and everything, man.
Because before it used to be Dominique Dawes, now Simone Biles got it. Because I used to love me some Dominique Dawes, boy.
So special shouts to our baddie in the Brightlights of the week, Simone Biles.
Hell yeah.
Good luck out there in the Olympics. We saw already in first place, so we're expecting to see another gold medal in the end. So
Going
we'll
out
see
there
how
and
she
have some fun.
does that. Did you see how much air she was getting on them flips? Like
I know,
that was
though.
amazing to me. I never was that good at anything.
I'm still have yet to do a
I'm good like
backflip
that.
in life.
I can do 8 backflips.
Nice. And then when you turn the video
when you
game
fall
off,
down, when you fall down the steps backwards, nigga, that's how you do 8 backflips.
Yeah, I don't find that funny. In fact, Bravo, I got a question for you.
What the fuck is wrong with this nigga? That's your man. That's your man. Hey, who man's is this? Who man's is this?
His name is
Speaking of
Haze.
Caitlyn Jenner.
Well, gentlemen.
Nice.
That was good. That was a good one. I like how you slid that in. So, everybody tuned in. Make sure you like and subscribe to this channel. We are keeping this purge of the BS going, man. I got a special Who's Mans for you guys today.
Do it.
Have you tuned into the recent debacle that is the upcoming election for presidency of the United States? Did you see the debates recently?
I saw some of it, but I'd like to say this, and I posted it on some of my social media. You people will sit your grandfather down in front of the damn TV and hope he don't ask you for shit, and you will leave him in there while you go on about your business and go down to the polls and vote for some 80-year-old men to run your young country.
Right.
So, I 100% agree with you on that, Bricks. And I have the follow-up question. And we're going to get to the debate clip I have for you. But the follow-up question becomes, if not Joe, who's going to go?
Anyone else?
What I'm saying? But you can't just put anyone else up against Trump. You can't do that either. You know what I'm saying? You lose. It's like a lose-lose kind of thing. So if not him, then who is really the real question? And that's the question they're going to have to answer.
Well, I can't answer that question, honestly, because I don't know who.
I don't know.
You don't know either. And nobody knows.
What I can tell you is that they need to change the age limit on that president's job. That's what needs to happen.
They do. There needs to be there needs to be a stop.
Let me be real. Age ain't nothing but a number. If you Swift at 90, then you Swift at 90. You know what I'm saying? But if you're not Swift at 65, then you're not Swift at 65.
No.
It's a job. So you have to be capable of the position.
There's a difference. There's a difference being Swift at 90. Because, like, remember, what was the dude? Oh God, you devil! That old guy he was acting forever until into his 90s. Comedic actor.
George Burns.
Betty White. She was in her 90s. She wasn't running a country though.
See,
you know what I mean? It's not life or death.
We're talking about people who were sharp in their days, but you only saw them in certain doses, and they weren't always working.
Right.
That is, once you cross over 80, that's I need to take a nap for most of this day range.
Right. If you need to open your mouth to concentrate on anything, like, you know what I mean? You're too old.
You're too old for that. Because, I mean, I feel like when you're looking for something and you end up smelling your top row,
right,
you're too old. Like,
you're too old. Right.
What is that over there? I can't see that. What is that?
Right.
Well, gentlemen, we have to allow our viewing audience the opportunity, if they haven't already, to see, some of the exchange from Mr. Biden and Mr. Trump in the debates. We have to allow them to see it. It's a short clip. I only could do a minute of it, but you can find plenty of the stuff online right now. So
roll the clip. Felon versus Fossil. Go.
Let's go.
For what I've been able to do with the with the COVID, with dealing with everything we have to do with.
Look at his face.
If we finally beat Medicare.
Thank you, President Biden. President Trump.
Well, he's right. He did beat Medicare. He beat it to death, and he's destroying Medicare.
The fact is that the vast majority, and that's how states should be able to.
It's just a bunch of stuttering for a minute.
Right. Doctor, have him decide on. There's so many young women who have been, including a young woman who just was murdered, and he went to the funeral. She was murdered by an immigrant coming in. They talk about that, but here's the deal: there's a lot of young women who are being raped by their in-laws, by their spouses, brothers and sisters. It's just ridiculous.
Somebody get him some pudding in the seat.
All right, look, it was a tough debate. I watched some of it. It felt like, to me, after a while, it felt like somebody was picking on the old guy. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like that feeling like, all right, it's enough.
Right.
It's with all due respect, you age out of things.
That joker need to be sitting down in Shady Acres right now.
Right now, everything he was saying sounded like the middle of a conversation of him stopping somebody who works in a grocery store and he's trying to find the rice pudding. And that's everything he said. You know what I mean? Everything he says, like you just went into the middle of that conversation. And then I was looking and I was confused between the ketchup and the ketchup. And I was talking about and we beat Medicaid. And we beat Medicaid and the ramen noodles, the Marucan ramen. The Marucan,
and everybody's just tolerating it because he's an older guy. So
he's an old guy. Okay. He comes in here every day. It's all right. He barely pisses on the floor anymore.
But the question remains: is that who you want running the country? I see what you guys are saying, and I have to. Here's the thing, and I'm just going to say it. And this is just me saying. Anybody that's watching, this is not the opinions of Purge the BS and all of the subjects within. The only way that I can see Democratic Party having a chance right now is to put somebody up that everybody already knows. And the only person that's like that, I hate to say it, is Barack Obama. That's y'all chance. I
don't think he legally can do it.
He can. He can because he took the terms off. You just can't do shit consecutively. But if you live long enough to do another term, you can.
Oh, Barack don't want that smoke.
He don't want. That's what I'm saying. If he wanted it, he would have already gone to his friend Joe and said, "Joe, let me get this guy for you."
Joe,
you know what I'm saying?
I need you to have a seat in the back. No, way back.
Way back. Way back.
And your wife is hot.
And his wife is being so supportive, you know. She's like, Joe, you did all of it. You answered the questions and you looked at the teleprompter. You were so wonderful. But I feel like
Michael, come in.
Put Obama back in there. I hate to say it, but I think the only way that you can really beat Trump is to put somebody else in there that people already have some faith in. That's on the Democratic side.
There's
the only
another
person that's like
possibility.
that is Obama.
There's another possibility.
Build up a new person yet. Yeah, there's no time for a new guy.
If for some reason, you know what I mean? First of all, switch out Kamala, because Kamala's been missing. You know what I mean? So switch her out.
Oh, she's still there?
I understand that. But switch her out to somebody that's viable. And if they elect him and immediately Article 25 him, unfit him, and then the vice president goes up, that's the only other way it could work. That's the only way. Because here's the thing, you can't put nobody else on the ballot because that shit's already set. You can't just switch nobody out like that.
I don't get it. Why does the president have to run again? Like, why
he doesn't. That's the whole thing. He didn't. And I was saying that in the very beginning of all of this shit. Yo. Like, there's no reason for him to run. Like, the dude is 7,000 years old.
They got, what's her name? Kamala, what is it? They got her in there because they know if he wins, he ain't gonna make it. And that's how they're gonna get their first female president. That's how they're gonna do it.
But that's a horrible plan, though.
It is.
That is waiting on a person to pass away. That's so exactly what they're doing. By default, that's stupid. Like also, right now, they need to be worried about what's happening right now.
He looked like he was waiting for a chicken pot pie. That whole damn debate.
Yeah, it was very. To me, it felt. I hate to use a term, but it was kind of sad to watch. It felt tough to watch.
It was sad.
It's like, when somebody's parents age and you see them, they're not, as swift. Like when Muhammad Ali was old and he was trembling and stuff. It's just hard to watch. You know what I'm saying?
The whole thing with Joe is that his whole conversation sounds like he's sitting there waiting at the front desk at Cracker Barrel, waiting for his early bird card to be stamped. And he's just waiting for somebody. He's just talking. And it's a non sequitur after non sequitur.
There's got to be dementia going on too.
If nothing else, just lack of sharpness.
If they don't go grab Obama or somebody that I don't already know about, they got to find somebody to bring back some of the lost black voters. And
he might not even make it to the election.
That's what I'm saying. They got to start thinking, proactively and not reactively. If they want to win the election, if they just want to lose it, that's fine. Whatever. I don't know what the agenda is, but
that might be a thing, That might be the nasty option. But you just said, Briggs.
You ever watched yourself on camera? Like sometimes people will watch themselves on camera and be like, okay, I need to do this differently. I didn't like how I delivered that.
Yeah.
He's seen himself on camera, so I'm sure he's looking at that like, yo, I'm not as swift as I used to be.
I don't think he's looking at himself on camera. Like, I really don't. I don't think he has the attention span to sit there and do that without taking a nap.
Maybe not.
When that nigga go home, he get in the bed.
Well, right, yo. I mean, like, come on. They couldn't have shot him up with some B12 or something. Just get
somebody go get Joe. He in the car.
Well, I'll give Joe Biden, some credit for at least getting out there with Trump. He didn't even have to do that because that's not.
He called him out. He called this debate. Yeah. He was like, "I'll debate you."
Yeah,
and Trump said, "Bet."
He tried it. So I'll give him that.
Yeah, well, I tell you what.
That is some pretty fucked up shit.
You know what really grinds my gears?
Can you say what the fuck did I do last night?
No, bad idea. Don't do it.
He can't say it. He can't remember what the fuck he did last night.
Right. Marucan, the ramen. The Marucan ramen. And we beat Medicaid.
Well, guys,
what is it again? Maruchan?
Maruchan. I once knew a guy named Maruchan.
Where's Barack and Michael?
That's a really good question. Let me just put that out there before we get
Barry.
past the Joe Biden situation. Where is Michelle Obama at? I haven't seen her in a while.
Yeah,
Where's she at?
I think she's keeping her distance because she don't want to be seen with this dude. And I do not know this as a fact, but I think there is an intense hatred from Michelle for Hunter. So she's staying clear. I don't remember where I heard this. So
Hunter owes her $20. He borrowed $20 from her.
And she saw that $20 rolled up in one of those evidence photos.
So nonetheless, gentlemen, I have an interesting bad idea for you today.
All right.
We're going back into the law enforcement community.
Yes.
Now, I want you to prepare yourselves to see something that you're really just not going to like. Okay?
Nobody dies on this one, right?
Nobody dies. Nobody gets physically injured. Nobody gets physically injured. Nobody gets physically injured at all in this, okay? It's an exposure of the benefit of body cameras and digital evidence in today's world, because without it, we would be lost as people. Police wouldn't be able to do anything.
Yay!
Okay. Well, guys, let's see here. Am I sharing the screen here? No, I'm not.
No, not yet. Not yet.
Not yet, but it's coming. Oh, so guys, there was a if you wait, it's coming. Anyway, all right.
Wait for it. It'll be good.
It'll be really good. Worth it. So this clip came to me of a gentleman who got pulled over for probably a minor traffic stop. He turned out to have a warrant, and they arrested him for that. And in the exchange of property, some things may have gone missing. I'm gonna let y'all check the clip out.
Get this stuff out your way first. All right, can I get can you get my phone? Yes, I'm gonna put it. I'm gonna leave that cash in there. Any other pockets I need to know about? No, sir. Go ahead and see this thing. Say, what is my money on the clear off right there, man? What? No, that's going for you. That's going for you. We're not giving that to anybody else. We got that off you, so it's staying with you, so you know we didn't take none, and nothing's gonna be missing. All right, but I want to. No, we are taking that. That's staying with you. That's the rule.
You gave me some of it
because it come off of you. Every bit of it's going with you. Does that make sense?
Y'all ready for the bullshit?
When it comes to stuff like that, you know what I'm saying? So
I'm gonna count your money in front of you.
So now they get him to the station.
Big money. We'll put this in the bag for you, okay? Yeah, here. Here you go.
I got you.
Yeah, she's counting right now.
You're gonna watch me, okay?
I heard the early band get shot. Hold on. Check it out.
1, 2, 3, 4.
He's moving. He's moving. Oh my God! Y'all not gonna check him?
Listen.
Look at him. Listen. Come on. I've been cooperating with you guys the whole time.
I'm not gonna allow anybody to take your money.
Look at him. He's moving.
But look at me. Look at me.
Look at his face.
If someone takes your money, it will be a big problem. All right. No one's gonna take your money. I can see his hands. I can see exactly what he's doing. No one's gonna take your money. She's gonna count your money. There's more money.
Touch my money.
There's more money in here. You're saying that there's more money in here?
But what I'm saying is,
let me ask you a question. Answer my question. Are you saying that there's more money in here?
What I'm saying is, he just touched my money and went through 3 different floor compartments, and I seen him put it in between his legs. I heard my rubber band. I've been nothing but cooperative with you guys. All I wanted you guys to do was. I'm saying, but he already moved and did a lot of different stuff.
Come here. I'm not telling you.
I want you to hold me so you know that.
Okay. Do you see anything?
No, yeah. Look at, I'm not even gonna touch it. It's blue hundreds right here. It's all the blue hundreds are right there behind that receipt. Thank you. All that's my money. He didn't have that.
This is your money?
Yes, I heard him crumble it up. Thank you. All that's been recorded, right? That's my money. That's my money right there. Sir, you've been watching me that whole time. I seen you you take it. I seen you come.
Sir,
just count it.
not
If I'm right, it's gonna be around $1,000. If I'm right, and like I told you, I just went to Wendy's. I seen you still.
No, sir.
If you don't mind, I just want to sit down so y'all don't try to say I'm resistant. I don't want to do nothing.
So y'all get the point. Y'all get the point. So without camera, this man would have been out $1,000 and would have been called a complete liar by the police and all of that. But it's a longer video. It's really about 30 minutes long. I just took a little couple clips out of it to show you the gist of it. But the guy does get relieved of duty.
Good.
Good. Here's the thing.
So the system does work.
Fired. No. Start there.
He's riding the desk.
Get fired. He's not on a desk. He was asked to resign. So he still gets a pension.
Oh, so he knows he's not working. That's fine.
Yeah. So he just retired, basically. So really, there's no legal defense.
I'm okay with him being forced to resign because I don't know what his record was up until that point. But off of that mess up, he needs to be off the force. And if he was good up until that point, and this is the first time he had done that, then yeah, okay, you just need to be off the force. But your years, you still get your pension. I agree with that. You know what I mean? So everybody's better off with this dude not being out there.
I disagree.
Okay, let's talk.
Send his ass to jail for stealing. That's what your police.
That's what he just did. Yeah,
go to jail.
It was attempted theft. That's what it was.
The reason why I say this is because the guy who you just stole from has not had his day in court, so he's still innocent until proven guilty. Right?
True.
You just got caught. There's no court for you. We already know. I mean, you're going to go to court. But why are you above that standard when you're the one rolling around arresting people? This guy's still innocent. You don't know if it's drug money. You don't know what it is.
I believe that both of us are right. I didn't say anything about the prosecution. I believe he needs to be off of duty and all of that stuff. And if he needs to be prosecuted, prosecute his ass. No doubt.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? No doubt. I just,
I don't know why this man was arrested. Did they tell us why he was arrested?
Well, basically, he had a federal warrant out for not showing up in court. So I guess he was on probation or something like that, and he didn't show up to something, and so they had a warrant out on him. So that's what he got arrested for, was the warrant.
But it started with a traffic stop, right?
Yeah, it started with a traffic stop with his girl's car, something like that. I guess they were looking for him. This is over in Charlotte.
It just sickens me that you're supposed to trust law enforcement.
Right. And they wouldn't even let him give away the money to the people he was with. He was trying to say, look, let them take the money and then y'all don't have to worry about it. And this same guy was like, nah, we're going to make sure nothing happens to it. And ends up being the exact guy that takes it. Like you said, how can I trust the person that the person is telling me they're the person to trust? And by telling me that is making it so that they can do something that I can't trust. Like it's so backwards.
Dude's an asshole for that. I mean, straight up.
Stuff like this too much, yo. This is very dangerous. Without the cameras, like this guy would have. It's a good thing he didn't wild out because they probably would have heard him, beat him up, all types of stuff. He was as composed as anybody could be in that situation. Because I'd have been a little more upset, especially when he was like, "Yo, I saw you do it." Like nobody else saw it, but I saw you do it. I'm handcuffed.
He had the details. He said, I seen your hand. I seen you put it between your legs. I heard my rubber band snap. He was like, it's gonna be about $1,000. Yo, that dude,
he said it.
Yeah, he was on it.
And it took them, if you see the whole video, which I'll put the link in the description for anybody that wants to see the entire video, it's a 26-minute video. So for 20 minutes of that video, they're basically telling this guy that he don't know what he's talking about.
See,
and then he finally allowed...
He got a case.
They finally looked in the car and they finally got to it. But it took 20 minutes of him saying, yo, I'm not going nowhere until y'all look in there and see if my money is in there. And the guy wasn't trying to get out the car, so it started to look a little weird. Then he got out the car.
His face.
Yeah, you could tell he was up to something.
Nigga looked like a toe with eyeballs. Like,
yeah, because why wouldn't you get out the car? You just brought this prisoner here. Get out the car.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
See, this
supposed
is
to be doing paperwork.
This is where I start to feel bad for some of the people in the comments, because even though they get on my damn nerves because they champion, it's like you're champion for pieces of shit, and so they make these people that are commenting look bad. Like, yo, we have your back in the comments, bro. And this is what you guys do?
Right.
So here's the thing. Here's the thing that I think the comments get wrong, and certain people with their own ideas get it wrong. We are not saying this about all police officers. We're saying that guy is a bad guy. We're saying that one is bad. And the ones that we have evidence for, that we can prove it and show it to y'all, that one is bad. This is
I agree with you, but I'm saying it's turning into the 90-10. Like,
right. It's too much of one thing.
It's too much. And it's like, look, I do understand, like, a lot of police get in trouble for becoming savages because you're policing savages. That's why I'm not built for that. But what I'm telling you is, if you're not built for that, stay out of that fucking job.
Right.
If you can't maintain.
Here's the thing. Just because that man had that money doesn't mean that he had a bunch of money. You don't know what people are doing with money. He could have been going to pay off a bill to...
Could have been a down payment on a house.
It could have been, exactly. He could have been... Exactly. It was about $10,000 he had.
Yeah, he could be putting people out of sorts right now. He could have just put a phone number on homeboy's head for not ringing.
With Pooh Shiesty.
And you never know, man. So it wasn't up to that officer to make the decision that this man had enough to spare. Because that's how they be thinking. You got that much in your pocket, you got something to spare. Let me pull a stack off of that.
Get him the fuck out of here.
Right. And then he was trying to get him to agree to a number. He was like, yo, I don't even know how much money I had, but I had more than that. Is what he was saying.
That money could have gone to good use, because I believe it was going towards the tour bus for the Cephas and Reese comeback tour.
Yeah.
Yeah, yo.
But I tell you one thing, man, God is good.
Yes, he is. All the time.
And he will intervene because
God can bless a hot mess. Amen.
Amen.
Gods have awakened.
We got that.
Very happy to be here. Turn around, ladies, for me, please.
Turn around, ladies, for me, please. So,
I'm good at my job, nigga.
I'm gonna take you out with a very, very powerful quote that should incite your thought process and self-identification, if you're prepared. Now, if you're still watching, make sure you like, subscribe, all that kind of stuff. That wasn't the quote, but make sure you do it. Like, subscribe, hit the bell.
Don't be fucking around with Pooh Shiesty and them.
And check out the subreddit.
Don't be fucking around with Pooh Shiesty. So I'm going to bring a very powerful quote from one Joseph Biden, okay, in his heyday.
Marucan.
All right, you guys ready? I gotta bring it in.
All right.
You ain't black if you don't vote for Joe Biden.
You're right.
So let me just say
that was the quote
a few years ago. That was the quote. Yes, you ain't black if you don't vote for Joe Biden.
Remember when he said that
to Charlemagne? Now let me say this, gentlemen. Were you black when he said that?
I don't know. I have to go check my calendar.
Because I didn't vote for either candidate in that race, and I'm still black. So the statement was untrue, sir. I am still black. You said I'm not black if I don't vote for Joe Biden. I didn't, and I'm still black. So
I'm just saying, it was a presidential statement, and he said you're not black if you don't vote for Joe Biden. So after this recording, I'll go straight to First National and apply for a loan.
Right.
Yeah, because I'm no longer black. So I'm just saying, look, as far as politics go, the U.S. has its own problems. The next person that we have up is going to inherit problems from administrations ago.
At this
Our government
point,
is
it
weird.
ain't about this motherfucker to get elected. It's about the staff he bring with him.
Exactly, because that's really who's doing the work anyway. The president is more just a face. It's like a face. It's the handlers we got to worry about.
Yeah.
The only thing we got to really be confident in is the Navy and the Air Force, really.
Yeah, pretty much. They protect. And honestly,
Speaking
we haven't
of
really
that,
had
the draft.
Did you hear about that? They just passed that bill. The boys, what is it, 18 through 26? You got to register for the draft.
But I honestly thought that was already a thing when I got my license.
Selective service thing. Yeah,
selective service.
That's what that is.
It's the same thing.
Well, why would they just recently pass a bill if it's the same thing?
They just want you to think they were doing it. They just changed the name on it. But that was all. If you registered for certain things, like having a license, they asked you about registering for selective service. So if you put that on there, you're part of the draft. You were already part of it.
You already there.
Yeah, they just want you to now think they're doing something different, but most people were already there.
Yeah,
anyway.
well, I'll say this. We spoke about this many episodes back. The recruiters can't get nobody in. Like, these recruiting stations aren't getting anybody. Like, it was down to like 1 or 2 a month. And we talked about, when we was talking about the police don't realize that when you harass somebody just for no reason, and you end up sending them to jail or whatever it is, and they get something on their record, you don't realize that you're ruining their chances of becoming a soldier or, you know, getting a decent job. And so props to all of these police officers who have ruined lives. Now these teenagers can't go into the military and they can't get into the police academy. So you've done a fine job. I love police officers.
Right.
Well, gentlemen,
you gotta go, nigga.
I gotta go.
Did anyone see my Marucan anywhere?
So before we get out of here, hopefully the Democrats.
Does anyone see my capoodles?
Hopefully the Democrats make the right decisions along the line. Just to let them know, I'm what's known as an in-the-public-rat. So you got to earn my vote in any which direction, or I just won't vote. I don't, you know. It is
they
what
call
it is.
it Democrat and Republican. Dem publicans.
Yeah,
Dem publicans. I've joined the Mind Your Business party,
and we stay party. You know what I'm saying?
All the time.
So, because at the end of the day, it really doesn't mean that much, but your vote means something. It's just it doesn't mean as much as you want it to be.
Well, my mom said something to me a long time ago that made a whole lot of sense. And she said, because I was like, man, I ain't gonna vote. She was like, if your vote didn't matter, they wouldn't be fighting so hard for it.
They wouldn't fight for it. Well, that's the problem. They don't fight for mine. They never come to me. They never talk to me. They never appease to me. So they got to earn my vote. But I do understand what your mom was saying. It's 100%
well, I know one thing. Trump get in there again, yo. That's going to be the last president we have.
Yeah, you say that, but it'll be the same.
That's not too untrue, man. That's not too untrue, man. You see all these people that's following everything. The dude's a felon, bruh.
But you know what? Let's just put the felon situation to bed. Okay.
Say good night.
Say good night on that. Let's not even do it.
He's allowed. I know, but dude,
not even do it. Let's not even do it because everybody knows. You do not have to have a clean record to be the president. You just have to be over 35 and born in the U.S. And if enough people like you, you could be an asshole. So it is.
This is very true. This too.
But you can't work at Dollar General though because you got criminal.
Ain't that crazy? That's insane.
I'm out, man. I'm out. I'm done.